Nkosi sikelela i-Afrika. A call to the heavens to protect the continent. Closer to home, the South African national anthem is a nation's pride and form of identity. Much like the national flag, it is the most common symbol. Both became known in April 1994, symbolizing freedom, new beginnings, and filling the hearts of South Africans with hope. But there are other symbols to take pride in. Take the springbok, for example. It takes its name from the Afrikaans language. Spring identifies its ability to jump, and bok identifies the antelope or deer species of its nature. Just like the national rugby team that it is named after, the springbok is an element full of energy and majesty. It flaunts its ability to jump around and impress, and it is resilient and tackles responsibility head-on. Its power and ability is also displayed on the country's currency, the R1 coin. The king PROTEA, a distinctive, bold flower. It symbolizes the beauty of our land and the potential of our nation. The PROTEA adorns South Africa's sports jerseys, spreading beauty wherever it is. It blossoms even brighter as the name of the national cricket team. So diverse, it also decorates the 20-cent coin. The blue crane symbolizes the country's elegance, its ability to stand tall and exude confidence. The real YELLOWWOOD, our forefathers' wish for this democracy to live long and take its place in the world. Believed to be the marine equivalent of the springbok, the galjoen is the country's national fish. The importance of the coat of arms can be seen in how all government departments identify themselves with it. Starting from its head, the rising sun symbolizes splendor, the country's rebirth, life and willpower. The secretary bird depicts the ascendance of the nation, its growth and speed. The spear and the nopkiri are for the nation's protection against enemies, reflecting defense on authority, yet calling for peace. The PROTEA, once again, depicting beauty and potential. The humans within the shield in a greeting motion is South Africa's plea for unity and for the nation to work as a collective. The ears of wheat symbolize fertility, growth and development, as well as the country's agricultural prospects. The elephant tusks show wisdom and strength embedded within South Africa. And what many still wonder about is the motto. In the Khoisan language, it means diverse people unite. Once again calling for the diverse nation to become one and stand together with pride. Olebogeng Khosilenswe for Newsroom in Johannesburg.
Lovely package, lovely look at what our symbols are, what they look like, what they mean for us. Now, for more insight on our national symbols, by the way, our question of the day is to you out there. It says, do you know what our national symbols are and what they stand for? Send us your contribution. Now, for more, we are joined from our Pretoria studios this morning by the National Herald, Mr. Themba Mabaso. Mr. Mabaso, a very good morning to you.
Good morning.
Mr. Mabaso, we saw this weekend after the ANC's NGC that, the subcommittee, Social Transformation Subcommittee Chairperson, Lindiwe Sisulu, she came out, she says, it is concerning that South Africa still struggles with its national identity. Now, 21 years later, what is your view on this, and can I get your reaction?
Yeah, I think we have a very good set of national identity as a South Africa. We've got primary national symbols, which is a flag, a coat of arms, and the national anthem. And then we've got secondary national symbols, which are your plant and animal that we have already shown into the footages. And we've got a number of others, like ceremonial one, the mace and the black rod, and so on. And these are the very beautiful symbols that we've got. I think the issue at hand for me is that also they need to be adopted and loved, and people need to be thirsty to know more about these symbols. And this is the issue, because you may have the identity, but as soon as you dwell into it and you adopt it and love it, this is how you also understand who you are. It's a matter of people also having that enthusiasm to learn more about their symbols.
Do you think South Africans lack a little bit of that passion to interact with what gives us our identity?
I think they do. Sometimes we are assisted by events. Let me just give you an example. Leading to 2010, from 2009 up to 2011, the way we interacted with our national symbols, it showed the world that we love them, and it also propelled, especially our flag, to be one of the third most recognized flag in the world. That was not by just magic. It was just because we as South Africans also rallied around our flag. We've displayed it. You will find it, especially during those times, throughout all the media and even businesses. You will find them flying in their offices and outside the buildings, and therefore it shows that South Africans love their national symbols and they display them. As a brand image, as you know, with the brand images of products, you need to be top of mind. You need to be visible, and people need to talk about it. And therefore, there is a need for us to always learn more about our symbols and also to display them and to show them in public. But also, most especially for us to learn, especially the anthem, to sing it and understand the etiquette around them. And therefore, it's about us also making sure that our symbols are on top of mind and that we know about them.
Which, in your view, are the most important symbols that South Africans should think about, maybe in the most respectful of ways?
Yes, I think we will talk about the primary national symbols, which will be your flag. The flag is about the people. It's what we can put crudely as a brand image. It's the image that we portray whenever we are in an international arena, especially in sport. You'll see that before even the match starts, there will be flags there. And the second one will be the national anthem. It is the most expressive one and the most emotional of all the national symbols, because it also conveys our emotions, the message, our aspirations. And if you look at our anthem, it's about us also petitioning the Highmost to bless us for protection. And at the end of the anthem, we also talk about the natural beauty of our country. Therefore, we are giving thanks to say we've been endowed with this particular beauty. It's part about that. And therefore, it is very, very important that we know the words, we understand them, and we respect it. And the last one is the national coat of arms. That is an image of the state of government, which is also embellishes our coin, our very important document like identities, because with that, it is a seal to show that that is authorized. It is something that is government authorized entities and documents. And therefore, those are very, very important. But that doesn't mean that we can negate the others, because they too have got their own role. Just to give you an example, with the plant and animal national symbols, we call them living heritage. They are also showing what we've been endowed with as a country, because each and every country has been given something that is unique. And therefore, you pick those things that are unique in your country, and you protect them and you elevate them into a national status. By so doing, you are trying to recognize your natural resources, plus also making sure that if ever there is any of those that are getting to be extinct, you protect it. But it's about us appreciating what we've got, which eventually also help us to have, people to know that we've got something unique. It helps us in terms of tourism, for example, because it's part of our value that we've got as a country.
I want to ask you about the way that we handle or the way that we treat our symbols and how you view that. You know, you mentioned the flag as probably our most important symbol here in South Africa, but week in, week out, weekends in, you see people with a flag in the one hand and the beer in another hand, and there doesn't seem to be that level of respect for such an important symbol. How do you view this?
Yeah, we try by all means to make sure that people understand the etiquettes. We call them etiquettes around the national symbols, especially the flag and the anthem. The symbols need to be respected because they really honor the country. They represent the aspiration of the country. And as a result, whenever individuals engage with them, they need to pay a lot of respect. For a flag, I think what has messed up is the fact that it has been used a lot in sporting events, and people tend to be in a jubilant manner. And sometimes they forget about the etiquette that need to be there. Therefore, I would like to also to remind people to make sure that whenever they engage with the symbols, they need to pay a lot of respect to them, especially the flag, because it represents the country. And there are a lot of this. Just to mention a few, it must not be dragged on the floor. And also it must not be utilized, especially to opening events or like the races. And I've seen also people who are selling things trying to be very patriotic. They'll put it on top of a table and put the products on top of that. Therefore, they are using it as a tablecloth. That is a way that is denigrating the flag. It's compromising its integrity. And therefore, we would like to remind people to make sure that they use the flag in an appropriate manner, but they must show a lot of respect about the flag.
Mr. Mabasa, thank you for your contribution today, coming to you live from our studios in the capital, Pretoria. That is Themba Mabasa. He's the National Herald. That's the man that looks after our symbols, that makes sure that we don't denigrate, well, what we should really be holding in such high esteem. Time for us to move on.